So hello and welcome back to the living room that I finally cleaned.
Oh my god.
So I think by now most of us have been restricted to the four walls of our home for long enough that you either have a routine or you've just been playing Animal Crossing in your sweatpants for the last month. Either way sounds like a good time personally. But for those of you that are wondering how on earth you are going to stay productive during a time such as this, or also just like with your life, today I'm going to share with you the best tip that I have that I personally use to help keep me productive every single day. And that is to make the list. Now before you're like, oh, you just want me to write out a list of goals. This was clickbait, I'm leaving. Hold on, just hold on. This is a list of very short, very easy to achieve tasks that you are going to do every single day. Unless something really dramatic and like an emergency happens, this is a list that you are going to complete again every single day. As this will hold you accountable, but also actually make you achieve the goals that you want to by breaking them down into very tiny, teeny little baby steps. So in order to figure out what you are going to put on your list, I personally like to refer to the pie chart of life, which at least for me, the categories I would consider are your mental health, your physical health, your relationships, your partner, your space, your hobbies, your spirituality, your finances, and finally your career. Obviously feel free to adjust this to whatever makes up your life, but I feel like personally this covers most of our existences. And what you're gonna do next is just grab a piece of paper, and you can make this cute. I know you like bullet journal people are out there, but I'm not one of them. So just taking a piece of paper, you are going to write down each of these categories. And then on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being, oh, this is trash, 5 being, I am fully satisfied with this, you are going to give yourself a rating for each one of these categories. And when you go through these, it is obviously extremely important, listen to me, extremely important, that you be honest with yourself. This is not something that you ever need to share with anyone else, but if you're not honest, you can't make adjustments. So like, why are you even listening to me? So starting with physical health, I would be honest with yourself. This is not just about how you look. This is actually like your health. How do you feel when you wake up? Because you could be like the hottest person in the world and still feel like trash. Trust me, I know. Good. For your mental health, especially right now with so much crap going on, is I would be honest and ask yourself how you are feeling. Where are things at? No need to be a troopa scoopa. Doesn't even make sense. Anyway, for your relationships, to me, this means like your family and your friends, like your close, your inner circle. This excludes if you are in a relationship or not. This is more like, do you actually maintain contact with your friends? Do you have friends? How is your family? You know, just like wherever you're at. But if you are in a romantic relationship, when I say your partner, I don't mean like how much do you like this person. It doesn't actually have anything to do with them. What I would ask yourself is, how good are you as a partner? How much do you do in your relationship? How much are you doing for the other person? And honestly, if right now you're like, I'm doing everything, that's something to consider. But if you're also like, I know I could be a little bit nicer, like personally, I could probably yell less, but just something I'm working on. But it is part of my charm. Like I'm just saying, you don't start dating this if you don't like being tormented a little bit. But what I'm saying is, if you are putting down a number 3 or a 2 or a 1, that does not mean that you are not happy in your relationship. This again has nothing to do with your partner. This doesn't mean that you are not happy with what they are doing. It's just like, honestly, how are you within your relationship? As for your space, this could be if you have an entire home to yourself, or maybe just your room. Whatever it is that you can control, even if that is literally a shoebox at this point, hey, that's something. And a lot of different factors could fall into this. This could be, you know, is there stuff that needs to be more organized? Could you be a little bit cleanlier and that's something that you actually want to do? Could this just be a little bit more aesthetically pleasing and that would bring you joy? As for hobbies, this is something that I would consider that is basically anything that brings you joy outside of like watching TV. If you are someone that loves to read, I would ask yourself, when's the last time you did that? How often are you keeping up on that? If you are an excellent or even really crappy person at drawing, but that's something that brings you joy and you love to do and could fall under hobbies, again, I would just ask yourself like how much time, this has nothing to do with talent, it's just how much time are you actually spending on this? How happy are you with the amount of attention that you give this area? Next up, as for spirituality, I like literally, even if you have no faith in anything, like to me that would still fall under this category. You know, I did not choose the word religion for this, so I understand we all have very different paths. So whether you are a Buddhist, you are Jewish, you are Christian, an atheist, shoot, you could believe we are in a simulation right now, that would still count. Sometimes I wonder, because for me this question again does not have to do with your religion per se, but this is just honestly, how much are you doing to give back? What really are you doing for the world? And finally, you have finances and also your career. So whether you are working or you are not working right now, this is still something that I would very much consider. A lot of the time, especially when you are younger, it's very easy to have kind of a limited view of your job, especially when you are hourly. It's like, hey, when I'm there, I'm doing stuff and then I go home. But what I would think about, again, this is why this is like career, it's a little bit more of an umbrella term, because again, whether you are working or not, you can still be thinking and you can still be doing stuff to better yourself for your potential career. So whether this is you starting a personal project, or maybe this is learning a new skill, or taking on more, or sometimes even less work, again, this is going to be different for everybody just based off of where you're at right now. But I would just ask yourself, could I be doing more? And also I would ask, could you be doing less? Because personally, this is something that I experience a lot where I'm like, honestly, I just need to chill. I need to take a step back. And now that you have all of your ratings, what I want you to do is go through these and pick the lowest 3 to 5 ratings that you gave yourself for each category that you are going to focus on with your daily list. And the reason why I am not having you do all of these different things is because personally, again, I don't think this is realistic. We are going for something that is, yes, going to push yourself, but again, is actually like something that you can accomplish. And especially if you are someone right now that is working and has other things going on that's just like a big time suck, you might only want to focus on 3 of these areas. Because again, you are going to be doing something for this every single day. So what I would do now is look at your schedule, what is realistic for you, and contrast that with the 3 to 5 categories that you have now chosen. For me, because I have only chosen 3 different categories that I am going to focus on, and that's an important thing here, is that's what I am focusing on. This does not mean that I'm just like not work, or that I'm just throwing my mental health out the window. You know, you are still doing things actively to work on these, but these are the 3 to 5 that you are focusing on every day. So for me, for my physical health, because I've only chosen 3 categories, I am choosing a couple different things that I can do for my physical health every day. The first is I am getting at least 10,000 steps every day. Look at this Fitbit. You've seen it in every stupid video. The next thing that I do is I work out for at least 30 minutes every day. I've been doing this for a couple weeks, and honestly, like, I'm kind of enjoying it now because it's been going on long enough. I'm over it. But when I say that I'm working out every day, sometimes this is literally just 30 minutes of me stretching or doing yoga or doing something very calming that is not nearly as strenuous as other days where I might be going for a run or doing abs or doing whatever. You know, every single day I am kind of feeling where I'm at with things. So again, sometimes they're really good, sometimes it's a little bit more like Shavasana kind of days. The reason why this is my best tip, the reason why I find that this works is because every day you just have to like make sure you go through this list and accomplish things, and you just have to hold yourself to it. And again, you can make adjustments every day, but at the end of the day, because you are hitting every single one of these tiny goals, you are moving forward towards a much bigger goal. Like my 3rd final fitness goal, which is to be able to do the splits within a couple months. I'm giving myself time because the splits hurt, but every single day I make sure to do at least 15 minutes of stretching, and I have seen and noticed significant progress within my splits. So I think you guys get it. And again, this is a very personal activity that you can go through, but for every activity that you write under each of these categories, I would make sure that this is something simple. Again, this is something that might take you 10-15 minutes tops. If you're not someone that thinks that you can work out for 30 minutes a day and hold yourself accountable, don't make that your goal. Make your goal literally something like just stretching for 10 minutes or getting a certain amount of steps in. You know, make this small, make this achievable, but again, just make sure that this is something that you're practicing every day, because what happens is you might start off with just stretching for 10 minutes, but if you do that for 2 weeks, in a couple weeks, you might be like, I think I could do 15 or 30, and you start moving up, and then you start working out instead of stretching, and you know, things evolve. And I think that's the beauty of this, is if you give yourself a daily list and you give yourself stuff that you just have to do, then every single day you are actively making small but really important steps that lead to a much bigger goal. And when you look back, like in 3 months from now, when I can do the splits, y'all will know it was because of this stupid 10 minutes every day that I spend doing this. So that is my tip for you. I hope this was helpful. I hope it made sense. Go write out your categories and then write your list. That's what I want you to do. Yeah, those are my things. So go have a nice day, and bye. Thank you for watching.